Hey, Eric here from 5minuteinvesting.com, and welcome back to this YouTube channel. And today's topic is 2020 Stock Market Investing Guide for Accountants. Now, you might be wondering, why is there an investing guide for accountants? And I feel kind of funny making this video because I'm an accountant myself. So I'm making a video because if I look back at my friends, my colleagues, and myself, what would be the opportunities, strengths, and weaknesses of an accountant? And that's what the video is about. That's what this video is. So I made this video just for you, accountant. So here, I'm just going to show my face here. So then you see that I'm a real person recording a video for you. Just make this a little bit smaller. Okay. So you are an accountant, and you are an accountant. You have a steady income, so that is fantastic, and you probably have a very stable job, so that is wonderful as well. Now, chances are you are working in a corporation, or you are working in a big four consulting firm or a mid-sized consulting firm, and so on. So you have some sort of pension plan, whether that is Sun Life, Manulife, or so on. You can choose between a variety of pension plans for your retirement, and you will be getting somewhere between 4% to 6% return. So that is a very average return. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's an average return. So you are risk averse. I'm an accountant myself, so I know that accountants are pretty risk averse people. So you like to avoid risk as much as possible. So let's talk about your strength. Now, your strength really comes from knowing how to read financial statements. And a lot of people are not going to know how to read financial statements, so you need to use that to your advantage. I know that is part of your job, and I know quite a few accountants who don't read financial statements even though they have this skill. And you know how to think about businesses, you understand what drives a business, and complex accounting standards, whether that is IFRS or US GAAP or Canadian GAAP and so on, and you know how to calculate all the ratios. Now, if you are an auditor, you know how companies can manipulate their financial statements. So this is actually can. And I think this is a very important skill and observation for you, because if you know how companies can manipulate their financial statements and which ratios are reliable and so on, that is going to put you ahead of the curve when you compare yourself with other investors. So I think that is definitely a big advantage that you have. So make sure you're using it. Now let's talk about some of the weaknesses. Now, so financial statement analysis or fundamental analysis is wonderful for long-term investing. But what if you're talking about shorter term, when you're looking at timing and so on? And I think that is really where the weakness, your weakness lies, is understanding charts, patterns, and indicators. Now, as an accountant, I know you wouldn't get education in this area, which indicator you should use, which chart you should use, which pattern you should use, and so on. So you're not going to be able to time the markets as good as some of the day traders in the short run. So we are really talking about 10 to 20% difference in stock market value. If you know how to time the markets, you should be able to get in a stock 10 to 20% cheaper on average. So that is a pretty valuable skill. And you might not know how to take advantage of news. If you feel like you're always one step behind when you are investing in the market, that is a sign that you are behind. If you are always investing at a high, that is also a sign that you're behind because you don't know when and how to take advantage of news. And I think you only learn how to take advantage of news if you participate in some sort of transaction or you know how companies release their news. And you don't understand how to take advantage of insider activity. So in this case, you probably know that CEO or CFOs of the public company can actually trade the stock market, but you're not using that information to your advantage. So you need to learn how to use that information to your advantage. It's quite important. You don't know how to invest efficiently where the best opportunities are pulled towards you instead of you hunting for an opportunity. Now, I think this is really a workflow problem. It's really about how you organize your investing steps. As an accountant, you're probably leaning towards more financial statement analysis, reading the financial statements. And you know that financial statements can be 200 to 300 pages long, so it can get quite time consuming quite quickly. So instead of reading every set of financial statements in full and just analyzing the financial statements of all the companies you can find, you need a way to filter and pick and choose only the best companies and at the best time. Like, you might choose a great company like Microsoft, but if you are doing your analysis at the wrong time when Microsoft is at a high, then there's really no point. So for example, right now, as I'm recording this video, Apple is at an all-time high. Apple is a great company, and you can probably do your financial statement analysis on Apple. But it's not really going to help you out because it's not the right time to invest in Apple. It's kind of overbought. So you need to understand and filter for the right time first before you do your financial statement analysis. And finally, because you're a risk-averse person just like me, I think you wouldn't be using leverage in your investing. So when I'm talking about leverage, I'm really talking about stock options. It's a way to multiply your profit. So because you're risk averse, chances are you're not using any stock options. So in that case, you want to use some form of leverage to multiply your return. Most of the time, the accountants I know, they use real estate because it has mortgage, which has leverage, so then it allows you to multiply your return. Now, when we talk about your opportunity, really lies in technical analysis, and you want to combine that with fundamental analysis. A lot of people treat these two analyses as separate, but when in fact they should be used together for the best effect. So that's pretty much it. And you want to use leverage to multiply your return and aim for 30% a year. Now, you have two options, which is one, you want to learn by yourself. And if you decide to learn technical analysis by yourself, you want to make sure you learn a little bit of programming so that you can code your own strategy and test through years of data really quickly. So that's what I did many years ago. And then I figure out how to invest using technical analysis. So when I invest in the market, I only spend around an hour a week. Or you can get some form of coaching. And if you're asking about my strategy is long-term investing using stock options, where I target 30% return from the market using around an hour a week. So that's what I do. It's a pretty passive strategy. And if you are interested in learning more, you can click on the first link below in the description, and you can watch the free case study on how to get 30% in 12 months. In terms of my time commitment, I spend around an hour a week on investing. So on average, that's around 5 to 10 minutes a day, just scanning the market for some long-term opportunities. And when it is the right time, the right stock, then I'll use stock options to multiply my return, which is a form of leverage. And my target is 30% a year. So you can go watch the free case study to learn more. Afterwards, if you have any questions, you can schedule a phone call with me, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And if you want to try one of the modules, you can click on the third or the fourth link below. There's a free chart course where it will help you set up your chart for technical analysis. So that should help you out quite a bit, especially technical analysis is one of your weaknesses. So if you like this video, click on like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment below and let me know if you have any questions. So I'll see you in the next video.